What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to When Moon Trading. Finally got a few minutes to make a video, so here we go. I'm going to answer some questions and just go over everything quickly. First things first, the last 30 days have been good, and bad. I'm going to mention the bad in a second, but the good here, this is just an example of just bots. In the last 30 days, we've seen a nice increase, and this is what you want your graph to look like. It's not perfect. You're going to have losing days and stuff, and those that do bots and whatnot, you'll see, on a big dump or a big pump, a lot of the bots open in the same direction. And then if that was the bottom or the top, sometimes they all get stopped out at the same time. So that's what these dips are. This was, I remember this day, we had like 7 bots open a short and the price pumped or something. So, but it's looking good. The last 60 days is on Blowfin, this is on Bybit here. I remember that first couple, when we went live, we had some AVAX and GMT. Bots kind of like shit the bed a little bit there, but the last 30 days have been really nice. And I'm going to go with the bad now. I was doing some manual trading, and those that follow me over on 2Bit would know that I took a decently big Bitcoin loss earlier last week. So, and I talked to some people who were following me, and they're like, well, the bots are killing it. We're up like 40% in a month. Like, why are you pissing away profits from manual trading? And I hear you, and I'm not going to be doing that anymore. So, yeah, that's that. I'm going to let the bots do their thing. So, 2Bit, we're killing it. Bybit, we're killing it. We just opened on BitGet as well. If you guys want to follow along, go to tradeharbor.com. The link up there. I'll put a link in the description below. This is a great tool, even if you don't use bots, even if you trade yourself on any exchange. I think this supports most exchanges, or he's going to be adding, I know he's in the process of adding BitGet right now. But this is a cool tool that my buddy Fishy made, and you could input all the coins you trade, and it will track everything. I just reset all this yesterday because I kind of wanted to start fresh, and now that I've given about 2-3 months of these bots working, I kind of know what bots to cut out, which ones to use, which adjustments to make. So I've kind of done all that already this weekend, and now we're living, right? So we've only had a few trades. This weekend's been kind of quiet. Cake has had this is on Bybit, right? On Cake on 2Bit. I think I started this one a day earlier. Yeah, we're 4-0 already. So that one's kicking ass. So, big shout out to my boy Fishy for setting up this Trade Harbor. I think you all should go use it. Even if you don't want to follow me or do anything related to me or David Tech, which I'm about to mention in a second, everybody should use this tool. It's a great tool, and give the boy some love. Otherwise, big thanks to David from David Tech. All these bots use his program, and this is the website here where you can find thousands of bots. There's thousands. Not all of them are great. There's a lot of shit in here, but you can go through this and filter out what you want and look at it and build these bots for yourself. You can add these strategies to your own trading view. There's dozens in here, and you can go in and mess with the settings and make your own strategy. Also, I haven't given a look at this yet. This is his AI side of things. And it looks promising. There's only room for improvement. Like, I've gone through this list a few times. There's nothing that really stands out to me yet, but there's a lot of strategies here. And this is AI. This is Claude or whatever he's using, and it's just creating strategies out of thin air. So there's thousands of them here. Like, you can see up the top, there's 20,000 strategies to go through. Again, most of them are going to be garbage, right? Like you can see here, like, 35% win rate and stuff. Just for funsies, let's put in a minimum win rate of 60%. Let's just see what pops up here. Again, I haven't used this. I haven't set this up. I'm kind of technologically inept, to be honest with you. So I'm going to have to go watch some of his YouTube videos on how to connect this to your exchange. But all the information's out there. And yeah, it's like, there's some stuff here that looks okay, but nothing tickles my fancy just yet. But this is only going to improve. So to answer some of your questions, some questions I'm getting is, what do you look for when you're looking for a strategy to use? This is a really easy question to answer, and I'm just literally going to pick, I did not mean to click that button, I'm going to pick a random strategy that pops up here, and I'll show you what the first few things I look for. Okay, so let's just pick this one, Precision Trend Mastery, Mint. I don't know if these stats are accurate. They were having some issues updating. I'm pretty sure it's fixed now, but let's just pick this one. and let's see if this is a strategy that I would use. So somebody asked me this question a week or two ago, and I haven't answered yet. So that's what I'm doing now. And the main things I want to look for are obviously a graph that looks up and to the right, preferably like a smooth and steady motion. Like this one doesn't look great right off the bat, but the one thing I have the advantage of, and it depends on your pay tier. I don't know what's available to who, but if I click this copy settings to my trading view, I can send this strategy to my trading view, where it's just easier for me to look at it and determine whether or not it's something I want. So I'm going to wait for it to load here. Okay, so first thing I see is this graph. Sure, it's profitable. I don't like it. It's not smooth. It's not, smooth and to the right. A lot of chop. This is not, so right away, this is not a strategy that I would use, but I'm going to go through the points that I look for. So I look for a graph that continuously goes up to the right, correct? Max wins and max losses in a row. This is another more important one. Max losses in a row, I aim for no more than 4, maybe 5, depending on the strategy. The higher the max losses in a row, the lower I use in terms of my allocated margin towards that bot. I'm looking for 4 in a row, like max. And another question I had was, when do you know a bot has died, or when to stop using that bot? It's when it breaks its max losses in a row. So, for example, if I come over here, I should have set this up before we started. It's actually on this one. This was one of my best strategies for a long time, AVAX, and it had broken its max losses in a row. I'll wait for this to load here, and so I stopped using it. Oh my God, is that what it looks like now? No. Wait, what? What's going on here? Am I on the right thing? AVAX, 1 hour. Say something's not right, because this shouldn't be 51%. Cut. And we're back. Sorry, I had to pause and realize what was going on. I didn't have the right settings on. So this is an example of a trade that was killing it, of a strategy that was killing it, but now it's I don't use it anymore. Now my dog is trying to climb on my lap. So AVAX, for example, this was one of my best ones. And then, yeah, right here, its max losses previously was 4 in a row. And I'm going to turn the table on here so you can see this. I think it's like 10 or something, and 9 in a row. So once we hit like 5 or 6 losses in a row back here in April, I just stopped using the bot, and I have not turned it on since. So to me, this has died. So hopefully that answers your guys' question on that, on what I look for. I look for a nice, a win rate is nice. It doesn't need to be an 80% win rate. My dog is attacking the cat in the background. Max losses in a row, and whenever the max losses breaks, that's when I stop using the strategy. That's it. That's all. If it just chops for a month or two, it sucks. But to me, the strategy doesn't break until it breaks its max losses. I don't want to use something like this where it's there's multi-profit. You want to use just a single take profit. And yeah, now in terms of, somebody else asked me, how do I go about optimizing a strategy? Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I've been in this group, in the David Tech group, and the community for, 2 years now. And luckily, there's been lots of great people that have spent the time and are way more autistic than I am, who are really good at optimizing, because I go in and I do it manually. I'll go in these inputs and mess around with the numbers one by one, see what improves, what doesn't, and eventually I'll get something. I never really use the optimizer. So I don't know, like I can't speak on that, but I'm gonna be honest, I've relied mostly on the community to make great strategies and stuff. Now, that's not saying I won't go in and do something. So for example, we'll use the one I just downloaded. One thing that I like to do right away is I see this, so 66%, 1.2 profit factor. The first thing I'll do when I'm looking at a strategy is see if I can prove it at all. So I'll come down here to the days traded. right? For some reason, Sunday's off, but this wasn't active. So you need to make sure this is ticked. And then I just go through one by one on the days. And I turn one off and turn another one on. And I go through the entire 7 days here, and I see if turning a Monday off, for example, improves the strategy significantly. And if so, then I'll mess around with this. So I'll just do this one by one and just see if these. All I look for is profitable trades and profit factor, and the graph to go up. If it doesn't improve, then there's no improving. So that made it. Who knows? So that's the first thing I do. Otherwise, I go in and I just mess with the numbers a bit. But be fully honest with you, I mostly rely on the community. My dog is trying to climb on my computer table now. What else? Oh yeah, that's the one thing I want to show. So now we're live on 2bit, on Bybit, and on BitGet, and BitGet is just started too, and that one's going well. So I just wanted to show you that to rely on the bots, no emotion, and I just want to show you guys this. This is one of them, and I didn't notice this. I think I went live on this bot here, so I had like 4 wins on it. I didn't realize it was like this. Like, here's one going back basically since February. Since the start of February, it's had 2 losses and I don't know, what is that, 25 wins, something like that. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for something like this. And the graph isn't, it's kind of gone parabolic lately. This looks like nothing compared to the recent couple months. Now that could die at any moment, but this is a good example of, if you don't have access to these strategies, if you don't want to pay, the whatever monthly fee it is for David Tech, you can follow along here, and you can still help the community. So that's about it. Any questions? Don't forget to comment, comment, subscribe, tick the little bell. Love you all. This is a quick video, kind of run down. Oh, one more thing. Let's go over the Bitcoin here. I did want to mention this. I am doing a challenge to myself. It's a $250 challenge. I'm in 2 trades right now. This is actually in profit. I don't know why it says a loss. But I wanted to start with $250, and I kind of wanted to just aim for like 10 to 30% a week in profit. Now that sounds crazy. But that's really like one trade. You get in one good Bitcoin trade or any trade with a little bit of leverage, and you can get 10 to 30% easy a week. So my goal is to make about $20,000 by the end of the year, 6 months to do it. Average 10 to 30% a week. So we started 250. We're already up, $15 and $25. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm keeping track of it like this over here. Yeah. So I'm entering my trades and the reasoning as to why I'm entering these trades, so I can keep track and journal this and see if I make any mistakes. So basically I longed the dip this morning. As you can see, it hit this bigger area, value area low, which is this bigger range here, this blue line at the bottom. So we hit that. And my targets are simply these naked point of controls up top. We got 2 of them, about 74,880 and 75,000. So, and this resistance box up here. So hopefully we can, this can be a profitable trade. So if you will follow along and comment, subscribe, and I love you all. Till next time. Peace.